GM, everybody. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to Web3 Breakfast. My name is Jay Chains, and it is 10 a.m. here on the East Coast. It is Wednesday, March 1st. Holy cow. Let me... All right, let's see. We got to get this. Man, I'll tell you what. It's like, it's the connection. And we're going to be there in 2 seconds. All right, we there? Turbo, can you hear me?
We just took off. Welcome to Web3 Breakfast. Make sure I retweet out the spaces. Jay gets his roadcaster back together. What's up, Chris D? We see you, Carrie, Ren, Tin, and my kid called Love. What up, baby?
All right, you guys should be able to hear me now. I think we're good. All right, so here's the deal. This is what I found out now. This is I've tested this a couple times now, and I was in a space as a listener, and this happened yesterday. As soon as I got switched over to a speaker, that's when the whole audio thing disconnects, and then you got to just reconnect the Bluetooth. And so I was just in the space with Pio and all them. Everything was fine. I could hear, everything was great. And then as soon as I transitioned to my own space, it just totally kills it. Just got to reconnect it. So we're good. So I appreciate you guys. While we have everybody coming on in here for this Web3 breakfast this morning, I'm gonna play a song. This is Nessie's new song that he did for the Golden Baboons. They minted yesterday. So let's jam out to this for just a couple minutes for some Web3 breakfast while we get some. Let's retweet the room. Let's get some more folks in here. It is a beautiful morning here, a little cool in Georgia. I don't know about where you guys are from. But you know, I got that excitement that spring is in the air. So let's jam out to this song. Let's retweet the room, get some more folks in here, and then we will get this Web3 breakfast kicked off. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear.
Roaming through tequila bowls, trying to find my way, searching for it all, so I just run away. I'm shooting for my goals, no inside I made a go. Roaming through tequila bowls, trying to find my way, searching for it all, I just run away. No inside I just go. Rafiki told me know your soul. Yeah, used to walk around, knuckles down, got it out the mud. Started from the ground, turned it out, got some routes and such. Moving like a BB straight away, but I can't turn back now. Surrounded by the darkness, was a light inside, I searched and found a whole new world, where the rivers flow. Pull me in with love, give me strength and hope. Learning wisdom, change my birth from coffee to the gold. Understanding powers inside are yet to be shown. Yeah. I'm with the GBMC, staking AABBG for the whole family tree. Tell them see you on the other side, leaving all your problems where they be. Life is about the faith that resides, no one this is for you can see. Used to walk around, knuckles down, got it out the mud. Now I leave my village paving routes and rolling through tequila falls, try to find my way, searching for it.
All right. That's Nessie's new track that he did for the Golden Baboons. They started their mint yesterday for the private sale. They have done a couple sponsored spaces for me over the last couple of weeks. Super excited to be hanging out with those guys and chatting. That's going to be a fun project. I love the art on it. The zombies are probably one of my favorite. There's a couple other ones that I really like, but I'm not going to tell everybody because the last time I started talking about what I was trying to collect before a collection minted, I got hosed because everybody grabbed them from me before me. So I will say the zombies are cool, but it's not my number one. So get ready. But GMG everybody, we got Final, we got Kid, D-Gents, Chris D. Up here on the speaker panel, guys. If you do want to speak, please just request. You are more than welcome to come on up here. We only have one rule here at Web3 Breakfast, and that's just don't be a douchebag. You are allowed to have your perspectives, your ideas, your thoughts, free thinking. All of that stuff is cool. Just no racist shit and no sexist shit. I think that's pretty easy, right? But GM,
100. If people can't follow rules, we got to beat them in the head.
well, rules were meant to be broken. I get that, but that's just a very simple rule that it's a common courtesy that we want to extend to everybody that is here listening. This is a community-driven space. Web3 Breakfast is. I'll tell you what, guys. It doesn't matter, how many subscribers or followers or wherever we get to. That is not the point. The point is that we are for the community, by the community. We are the community, and that's all that this is about. And I just, first and foremost, I'm a community member. I'm a Web3 community member, and that's where I fit in here. And I hope that you guys kind of understand that and feel the same way about yourself. It doesn't matter how big your platform is. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal, and that is to make sure that this ecosystem that we are building, growing, developing, and we can all thrive in. So.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Jay Chain's videos, go check them out. I got to watch a couple of them, man. You do some solid videos. I appreciate that. I got to get mine rolling.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, let's talk and get some things going, get some collaborations going. I'll tell you what, I've been trying to do like these news, kind of like what's been going on in the world of Web3, all sorts of things. Tell you what, the articles, the headlines, most of them are just shit right now. This is a low interest period where the articles are not really newsworthy.
Man, I'm about to go start finding me some OpenSea creators and beating their heads in for taking royalties away.
That to me,
just started off with the headline of "You could die," and then read whatever the headline would be otherwise. And I think people will pay attention more. It'll work out.
That's true. Look,
if you don't do this, you can die. You're gonna have like 1 million hits on that video.
No, that'd be awesome. And everyone, thank you for coming to the Web3 Breakfast. This is going to be the new trend of Twitter Spaces around the world with your host Jay Chains. We got Chris D in here. We have freaking Final Frontier. We've got Kid called AI Love. We've got D-Gents. I actually had a chance to mint me a golden baboon last night. I was serious about that. We had a great time on Monday with the Meta Party. If you are not tuned into the next Meta Party, you already missed something special if you missed the last one. It was freaking epic. I mean, the emojis were scrolling so fast you couldn't even freaking read the chat.
I told I think I hit someone up because I was like, yo, you got to get in here and check this out. I was in there in the Twitch for a little bit. Dude, it was wild. I was like, man, if like this thing is hyped up. Like he had control of everything that he was doing, man. It was super dope to watch that.
Yeah, we did. There were giveaways every 15 minutes. They're a fair system. We always run a fair system. So while the party's going on, I'm running the bot generator in the background in a different platform. And so what heats the bot up is a keyword. So once the keyword's given out, it starts to sense who's using it, and it adds that name to the pot of people eligible for the giveaway. Once it starts to get close to the amount of people needed, it'll let me know the bot's warming up. And so I put it in the chat, hey, everyone, the bot's warming up. It's going to select the name soon. And then once I stop the giveaway, it'll pick however many winners that was for that specific giveaway. And then it creates a transcript. So that way, if someone's like, hey, it was favoritism, it's like, no, here's a transcript. This was randomly generated names. Trey did give away a autographed picture of the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank, and a keychain, and then he signed some of the magazines and gave those away. Win Media is going to get one of those free of charge on us, obviously. And that will be a legacy item because there's a limited edition print on those. We have not reached a publishing deal yet for it to go worldwide print.
What does that kind of deal look like? I mean, obviously, if you're going to be printing worldwide, you got to set up distribution, in several countries, right? It's not just one country or company's going to handle it all.
Yeah. So typically how that works is it's similar to like a book deal almost, right? There's two ways you can do that, right? You can fund and publish your own book, or if there's a company out there that loves what you've done, they'll make a deal with you and basically cut you a check for a certain amount of upfront money while they're handling everything on the back end. So it's the same with magazine publishing. So right now we're in the mix to get, work on getting picked up where someone wants to mass publish the magazine in exchange for, like, a deal on there. And a lot of times that'll include a promotion of theirs inside of it about their services and what they do. But this is something huge for Web3 space, right? It's not like Bitcoin Magazine for the maxis. This is everything Web3. It's the good news that people need to know. It's the bad news that people still need to know. It's the games that give them a chance to promo. It's interviews with people in the space that are significant figures. The art projects that are in there. So it's a whole lot of stuff for people to read that one day they'll be able to just walk in a Barnes and Noble and see it on the shelves.
Dude, that's massive. And because, like you said, the Bitcoin Magazine, like, it's great for what it is, but if you're not a maxi, you're gonna care about 5% of that magazine. That's it. And so, good on you guys for putting together that's something that is more all encompassing of this entire ecosystem. Because that's, I mean, if you're like me, if anyone's like me, I don't just like research Bitcoin. I am constantly looking at what is coming out, what NFTs are coming out, what technology is being advanced. Not only is it crypto, it is NFTs, it's blockchain, it's all of it, it's metaverse. That, to me, the metaverse is one of those things where, if you're trying to stay ahead of the game, that's where you need to be kind of focusing. There was an article. I'm gonna pop this up if you guys are watching up on YouTube. And just so you guys know, I threw up in the nest a couple of things. The first one that you'll see up there, 3 p.m. today. Matthew and I, we've got This Is Financial Advice. So tap into that. I've got the Twitter Space link and the YouTube live stream link there. Also, I posted up the YouTube stream for right now, this Web3 breakfast. So if you feel like clicking that, you can, and then you can see the stream going on right now, because I'm looking at an article. When we talk about the metaverse and where the focus is, Mark Zuckerberg has spent billions and billions of dollars, with a B and an S, billions of dollars, to develop the metaverse. And so far, it's been an epic failure as far as a lot of people are concerned. I see the potential of what he's doing, though. Obviously, if you have a long-term mind, you've got to front run things, if you stand a chance to really, participate in that whole thing. And so, like, that's the whole thing about the metaverse, right? And he's spending billions and billions of dollars. He's lost it all. But now they're launching a top level team to develop AI products for WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram, which I thought that hopefully he's not, totally pivoting. And 3 of the big takeaways from that are Meta's foray into generative AI amid a rush into the technology following ChatGPT's popularity. Zuckerberg said Meta will be creating a new top-level product group focused on generative AI. And they lost almost $14 billion last year in the relentless pursuit of the metaverse.
Oh yeah, it was huge. Well, this the thing. You've heard us talk about it, Jay Chains. The whole, if some of these big wigs can't buy you out, they try to take you out. So those that don't know the history of Zuckerberg, he is not the original creator or owner of Facebook. That was the Winklevoss twins,
right?
And they all went to college together. He took that idea from them and ran with it. They went into a lawsuit with him, and they didn't really win, but they did get a settlement. Well, what they did with that settlement, I think they took like half of it and they put it into Bitcoin. And you're talking way back to what I think this is like between 2011 and 2013. Yeah. And they became Bitcoin billionaires out of their investment because they put millions of dollars into it. So you see it happen with Marvel getting sucked up by was it Disney? And now you have extra hurdles to jump through, or hoops, if you're doing something with Marvel, because now it doesn't just go through their audit, it goes through Disney audit.
Right.
So this would happen. So many of these companies, they either get bought out or they get taken out. And now there's going to be this fight with the same stuff, with the AI, with the platforms, of who creates the best and who sees it as a competitor, and they're going to try to buy it out or take it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the metaverse, what I think is going to happen, and what I kind of hope that happens, is that they continue their development, and they do a really, really good job of developing kind of the framework for it, and then some more Web3 friendly technology comes around, kind of gets an idea of of that, and then makes the whole concept into something that we want. Because I think the whole idea of what Mark's building with the Horizon worlds and all that stuff, I think that's going to ultimately be the business to business solution, right? That's not the consumer solution. I just don't think that that's going to be the one that wins it. But I think, you know, if they put like a big effort into, you know, that B2B, and that's where, you know, you conduct your webinars, your trainings, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's where you definitely see that survive and succeed and thrive probably. But I don't see that being the consumer based action item, and especially like if Web3 takes off, and now, you know, you've got all sorts of gaming and all like the to earn models. You know, the if that whole strategy and structure is filled out or built correctly, you know, so we don't see those dinosaur tails. You know, maybe this ecosystem is what, you know, we're the ones who develop the Oasis, right? The one that I think we all kind of envision what the metaverse is actually going to be. If you saw that movie, Ready Player One.
I agree. Well, look at this. A lot of people around the world now are in mobile devices, right? And so is Gen Z and Gen A. We don't really see them out till the lights go off at the park. We don't see them out at the basketball courts until dark. We don't see them out in the streets playing tuss them up, bust them up with the football, right? Everyone's in a device. And when it comes to gaming, I don't think it's the console that sparks the adoption. It's going to be something mobile. When it comes to the adults, it's going to be what creates an easier solution for everyday life, but it exists in the Web3, and it's something that can be done just from the phone or from the tablet. And I think that's where the consumer solution comes from. And of course, we discussed the the most difficult part with that in terms of the gaming, right? You have a daughter. She doesn't have a driver's license. She can't KYC. She can't do any of those things. So if she wants to play a game, well, that's going to be funded by you. And so if the later tail of Gen Z or Gen Alpha wants to be involved in Web3 gaming, well, there's going to be a lot of knowledge base that the parents are going to need.
You know, and not, yeah. I mean, on so many levels, right? I was speaking at a crypto tax summit. I think it was like the beginning of last year down in Miami, and you know, it was, we've talked about this before, but you know, there's a lot of CPAs, accountants, all sorts of people there, and you know, that was the whole thing where I learned that if you have what is it, an S corp, and you put NFTs that are play to earn into your Roth and let someone else play on them to earn, obviously you could rev share that with them, but that's tax free, which is crazy. As long as you put it into your S corp and let someone else play on it, that there is no tax basis on that. Something like that. I may have butchered that, so I apologize.
No, you're right. And look, my mom's a tax specialist as well. She retired from the banking industry at 38 years old. I mean, extremely intelligent. And one of the things that's important that people should understand about what we're doing in this space is the holding of the asset, right? So it is an asset class. And so if you hold a cryptocurrency or even an NFT, if you hold it for less than 12 months before liquidating it, that falls under short-term capital gains tax. If you hold it for more than 12 months and then you cash out the investment, it's a long-term capital gains tax, which is a big tax break. So you only, let's say it was $500,000, right? Well, if you had it under 12 months, you're going to pay 37%. If you held it over 12 months, you'll pay 20%. So that 17% is a huge difference when it comes to the tax implications. And this is something that people should understand between the two, whether it's an NFT or whether it's a crypto. Hold your investment, because eventually you have a bigger tax break. People who come into the bull run investing don't get to see that because it's a really short time frame before everything crashes. So this is the time to make the most, right? You get rich from the bear market. The bull run is where you take your profits from getting rich.
100%. If you guys missed that, about 21 minutes into this recording, make sure that you know, when this is done, when we're done to space, go back and watch it. You can watch it on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You can re-listen to the space, but that is probably one of the most important things you need to understand. This build market is where millionaires are made. This is the time where you become a millionaire. You're not going to realize it until the bull run, but this is where you put in that work. What's up, kid?
How y'all doing today? I'm just loving the talks, man. You know, because this is what we here for, is to make a difference, but it's also for sovereignty, right? For the freedom, for having ability to have freedom in our finances. And I just wanted to say, you know, that starts off with making sure your entities are set up, your losses and your wins and your gains, they're set up properly. You know what I'm saying? You can be accounted for, so you can, you know, no matter what your entry point is, you can come in, peak of the market, and take L's and wind up winning if you operate correctly in the correct fashion. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to throw that out there because I feel like a lot of times when it comes to like what it is that we're doing and being participants inside of the decentralized, it's a form of cryptocurrency, so it is a form of finance, but a lot of people aren't set up in the correct fashion. You know what I'm saying? To where they do have safeguards in place so that they can capitalize on both losses and gains.
Absolutely, man. That's super important. And basically, the gist of that is get yourself an LLC and run everything that you do through an LLC. That's how you win. Don't just be a geek on the street getting a paycheck. Even if you have a 9 to 5 job, you should set up an LLC and figure out a way to pay yourself through there. And just trust me, learn that model.
We get great advice, especially for people that are already into day trading or they're into just getting into it. Every time you make a trade, that's a taxable event. So look at the trade being a taxable event, the movement of it into stablecoin being a taxable event, and then moving it into fiat. So this is obviously something that we need regulatory clarity on, because it doesn't make sense if I put my Bitcoin into stablecoin. I haven't turned it into fiat yet. However, that's a taxable event. And then once I change that stablecoin into fiat, then it's another taxable event. Well, that's double taxation. So this is something that we obviously got to solve between our space and regulatory bodies, because it doesn't make sense.
No, I agree with you. And to kind of stay on like the point of like gaming and all that stuff, I think we're gonna see that we're gonna really start to see a big push in the microtransaction world, right? And with that being said, like if we bring millions and millions of gamers into the space and it's all about those microtransactions, maybe at some point we can be the ones to determine that legislation or that regulation, right? Because it shouldn't be about every single transaction. It should be, if I put $100 into the game and I pull out $1,000 on that game, you're going to tax me on that $900 gain. And that's it. Not on the thousands of other transactions that it took me to get there, because that's fucking stupid. And that makes it all like too much for people to even want to worry about. Like, unless the platform is going to 100% from soup to nuts capture all of that thing for you and say, this is your tax liability because on our platform, unless they're going to do that, the whole system's bullshit, because not a single person, especially if you got kids playing your game, is going to track every single time that you make a transaction in a game. I know that. I think everybody probably realized that.
Well, that's what I'm working on. What we were discussing, to be able to sit in your wallet,
Yep.
Make it soul bound, and that way, once you're ready to check it, right, 30 days, 6 months, 12 months, it literally just pulls up a document saying, hey, this is what you're liable for. Here's your gains, here's your losses, here's the in between, and you can just give that report off to whoever is working on your taxes. And I do think part of it's going to be lobbying as well, right? You're going to see institutions and corporations step into the Web3 gaming world who do have a lot of political sway as well, right? If you look at Sony, if you look at Google, if you look at Microsoft, if you look at some of these gaming labs, they are involved in lobbying, whether people know it or not.
Oh yeah. I mean, I want to I wish there was more exposure to the world of lobbying, because I think that would probably uncover a lot of the corruption that we know about, but don't know how it's there.
Agreed. Chris, were you about to say something, brother?
Nope. I'm always about to say something, but in this case, I had nothing cocked and loaded. But yep, this is all good stuff. I think it would be cool if people could see how much they'd be taxed on all these events, because they'd be like, all right, I put in 100, and then I did a bunch of transactions, and now I'm at 1,000, which means I owe like $1,700 to the government. I think that'd be fantastic.
That, I mean, just a little bit more transparency, I think, would go a long way throughout this whole thing.
Well, and the beauty of a wallet, right? And this is something that I know I've seen Jay Chains talk about this before. This is the beauty of a wallet versus a bank account. You can have $5 million in your wallet. Granted, it doesn't come with insurance. However, you get to control what happens to it. When you have that much in a bank account, if it's not a private banking industry, they are only going to insure like I think $100,000 to $250,000 of that money. So if something happens with the rest of it, they're not covering it for you. And you have some banks that won't even let you put that much in there. They'll tell you have to split it between multiple accounts, or you have to leave them and go to a different banking system. So that's something that's important for people to understand is you have a lot more freedoms when it comes to cryptocurrency and having your own wallet versus a bank account and being able to spend it how you want it versus having to call your bank and get permission to spend more than $2,000 that day.
Well, how, Matthew, I know you had your hand up. Go ahead.
GM, one great axiom in finance is if I owe the bank $1 million, that's my problem. But if I owe the bank $100 million, that's the bank's problem. Which is kind of going to what Fina was talking about, with FDIC insurance and stuff like that. But just on the note of lobbying, I wanted to bring up that I actually had lunch with somebody named Dave Grimaldi, who's the EVP and head of government relations at what is known as the Blockchain Association just last week. They are the foremost technology and lobbying association in DC for the Blockchain Association. They have before the FTX fallout, they had about 108 members, and these are all people who are companies like Kraken or Coinbase who give them money to basically associate them with people on the Hill. I want to meet with XYZ legislators. I want to get in these meetings. I want to testify before Congress, etc. And it was just a fascinating conversation to have with him. And that's one of the things that we're going to be trying to do with my organization is getting a little bit closer to some of the congressional sort of lobbyists and trying to help educate them on how they can help build policy that's going to be shaping the correct sort of legal and regulatory compliance standards for consumers and businesses. But it was an awesome meeting. I suggest everybody follow the Blockchain Association. Kristen Smith is the CEO. She's really active on Twitter and just really good insight from the lobbying perspective.
Awesome, man. I'm glad the trip went well. That's why we didn't do a This Is Financial Advice last week. Is Matt was being a true champion for all of us in the Web3 ecosystem. So, but we are back today, 3 p.m. Eastern. So don't miss it. Zima, I guess Mixtape, you got your hand up. Zima, if you still have a question, we'll come to you next.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Just adding this, not sure if it's covered and not necessarily related to the blockchain quite yet, but something for folks just to be aware of that in the United States, the Supreme Court will hear a case about how the Consumer Protection Agency is funded because it is largely funded by bank fees. And depending on the outcome of that case, it's just important to note that there are other government organizations that are also funded by bank fees, including the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, which insures folks' private bank accounts. So, as we're talking about the difference between Web3 wallets and really owning your own assets versus maybe insured bank funds and how folks and why folks store their money in banks, those things might actually start to evolve over the next 12 to 24 months. So something certainly for everybody to keep an eye on and possibly might make the argument stronger for folks to maybe open up a wallet and store their funds if they no longer have the same types of financial protection that we've been accustomed to for really several decades at this point.
That's a great point.
I love that. And mixtape, that's a great point. And you're going to see changes with that, of course, when games like Star Atlas is finished developing. And I'll continue that. I know, was it Zima had their hand up?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, Zima? GM.
What's up? J Chains with the hats. Yo. How are you doing? Good morning, everyone. So I just walked in, and I walked in at the exact moment when you were saying something about your lobbyists, and I heard these last few moments after that. So and that's why I said, oh, you're talking about politics here. So just a heads up, I'm just trying to catch up right now what you're talking about. But because of what I've been hearing so far, I'm just going to offer that I have some pretty deep experience in this space. I have been involved many years ago in terms of a successful lobbying event in DC, which resulted in the release of a $700 million budget. I've also hired two lobbyists for two different sectors, two different industry sectors in my previous projects. So anyway, I'm letting you know that we're talking about lobbying and talking about how that world works. I'm just going to let you know that there's tap me anytime I can. And if it's something I won't answer directly, you can DM me and I'll give you an answer. You can put it on the speaker. Okay.
Perfect, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's awesome. But yeah, Jay Chains, what's going to happen with Star Atlas is it's going to cater to more than just the gamers. It's going to be decentralized science. It's going to be decentralized employment. You're going to be in this game having whatever job you do, and someone's paying you in that game's currency to do that job for them because they're busy doing other things. It's going to connect you in a multitude of ways. Hey, you need to jump space. Well, this person over here has a space jump system, right? They have the gate. So they're making money off of the fees of people paying to jump space instead of going out there and spending however long it takes to drive it or fly it. So it's going to be a really creative environment and economy down the road. And of course, it's being completely built on the blockchain, right? This game isn't being developed off chain. It's being developed on chain.
Well, that's really cool. You know what I got to do? Cause I know, Ardo, I know, when I was with the last, YouTube channel that I built, Meta Money, I know that I had done a very early review on Star Atlas. I've got to dig that video up. That'd be interesting to watch now and kind of see, where they are compared to where that was. That'd be interesting.
Well, shit, I could just hook you up with Michael Wagner himself, the CEO, and I talk to him all the time, and they're doing great things. Of course, they're using Unreal Engine 5. Let me tell you that nanite technology is amazing. What's more incredible is being able to take game logic and combine it into blockchain tech, all on the back side of things, and then we get to see this incredible stuff on the front end. Of course, that takes time because these organizations are starting out in the Web3 space. It's not like Sony coming in and they already have billions of dollars, so they have those resources and money already in their pockets. These are companies that are building something out of nothing, and that's what's great about it. That's the empowerment of the Web3 space, and we're going to see a lot more of that over the years to come. But again, trying to snapshot where we are right now. We always say we're early, but again, the demographics, the statistics matter. More of your gamers come out of Africa and out of Asia. It's easy to look at esports and see that, right? We talked about the Valorant and the League of Legends World Championship had more viewers than the NBA Finals. That's how much people are into gaming in these sectors. Now we need to introduce that to Web3. So when esports is a huge thing in the Web3 space, that's when it's going to get dramatically interesting.
Heck yeah. Cool. Well, Ardo, I appreciate that. Now, guys, let's retweet the room out. Let's just kind of see how this looks. If we think that we want to have a conversation with Michael Wagner, the CEO of Star Atlas, let's light up some emojis and then let's retweet the room. It's not going to happen today, but I just want to know, is the community interested in that? I'm seeing some hearts. I like that. I like that. Yeah, man, let's try to set something like that up. I think it would be cool to chat with, you know, anybody that is building something that, listen, man, like I agree with you, Star Atlas has the potential to be absolutely massive. Gaming, we know unequivocally, is going to be massive for the space. So let's chat with as many people as we can, bring them into the community, and just vibe, man. I'm so down for that. Let's try to set that up for next week if we can.
Yep, I'll message him today, and we actually have one of my officers up here on the stage, the Moon Man, one of my pro gamers, and he's doing big things across the industry, and he's the prime example of someone who is grinding day in and day out, giving lots of his everyday time for this community. Just like Lady Boss Nat is, just like Chris D is, just like you, Jay Chains. I mean, you're a father and husband first and foremost, but people don't get to see how much you dedicate yourself behind the scenes to the Web3 space. Everyone wants that instant gratification, but they don't really recognize the sacrifices we make in our own private lives to be here for what we're building for everyone and those to come.
Borderline divorce.
Dude, you know what? Like, I know that's like, the comment from the Raptors, but it's so fucking true. And it's all, everybody that's in this space, like, you understand that, like, it's 24 hours a day. Like, if you take a day off, you're behind. You have to just keep learning, developing, growing. And like, that being said, like, I could be at my computer for 20 hours a day. There are days where I almost feel like I completely neglect my family, or that they don't even exist, because there's a job to get done right now, and there's so much to do. And we have this conversation.
That's called the Web3 suck. It sucks you in, and you cannot get out of it sometimes.
No,
Fuck, man.
But, and that's why taking care of mental health is so important. That's why we, the weekends are like, that's where I get an opportunity to basically try to disconnect as much as possible. Everybody's got to do what they do, or do what they can do, to make sure that, yes, the Web3 suck doesn't take over and push you to capitulation, because we've seen it.
With that being said, guys, I'm gonna put in my 2 cents real quick before I gotta dip. I gotta go start my stage. But yeah, Web3 mental health, guys. I don't know if any of you have picked up a day yet to shut off your fucking phone. You guys got to look away from the screens every once in a while. I would say you need to start at least picking one day a week. Just pick one day a week that you're not allowed to touch your phone, and tell yourself you're not allowed to touch your phone, and stay away from it. If you're a founder, if you're a leader, of course, make sure your communities are aware that, hey, I'm not going to be around or say hello, one day a week. I know my community is pretty solid about it. When people are like, "Oh, where's the founder? Why isn't he here?" And it's like, they always come in on Sunday. That is the one day I do it. And they're pretty good at picking it up. And the rest of the team, or whoever's in there, is like, "Yeah, don't fuck with the founder. He's trying to get some me time." And I would say, guys, definitely keep your health in shape, because if you can't focus on what you got going on because you have so much going on, it's going to be bad for the project, for the business, the community. You need to be able to focus and organize and direct and keep things in order on your end. So make sure you guys do take a day to forget about everything, clear up that clusterfuck in your brain. There is known things out there and studies done that, they say for the first hour you wake up every morning, and I'm totally I go against my own word right here. They say the first hour every morning you wake up, do not look at anything technological. Don't look at your phones. Don't look at your computers. Don't look at a fucking thing. Wake up organically. Wake up naturally. Let your brain fucking start processing your daily task or whatever. Don't fucking wake up and look at your screen, because if you wake up and fucking look at your screen, your brain is going to be stuck on what you looked at that first fucking thing in the morning, and you're not going to be able to fucking focus all day long. So let your brain come together, whatever routine you got in the morning. Smoke a J, drink some coffee, have an energy drink, relax for a second, take a couple breaths, walk around, and then fucking go start your day. Remember, you guys got to be healthy for you and your team and your community. So founders, leaders, make sure you always take a breath and step back for a second.
Massive.
Hey, Justin,
yeah.
I can't come to your room anymore. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to smoke a J, and shoot back some energy drinks. I'm going to walk in circles, but I will not be here.
That's
I'm
fine.
trying
You
to
just
be
got to
healthy.
get up earlier, brother.
I got
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say swap the energy drink for looking at your phone. Take those out of your life.
Okay. So this is great advice. And I will be fully transparent with you guys. The moment I wake up, literally the first thing I do is I grab my phone, and I've got my routine, right? I check a couple things and then I go to the bathroom. I literally will look at my phone before I even get up out of bed. I need to stop doing that. So maybe it's I don't ever set an alarm. I have a great internal clock. I get up when I need to get up, and it's always on time. So I'm not worried about that. I think what I need to do is put my phone on the charger in the kitchen downstairs before I go to bed, and this way I will wake up to no phone. That's just going to be so hard, guys. Aren't we all just so addicted to these devices? That just sounds like miserable. Like,
Bro, I did almost exactly that. Like I stopped bringing my phone into my bedroom, and I started just leaving it in the living room and plugging it in the living room next to my computer, so I didn't wake up and roll over and look at it.
I mean, it's these are things that we probably all should start to think about and do. I am absolutely addicted to the phone. When you said like you should pick a day where you don't even turn your phone, like I think I got sweaty hands thinking about that. Like what? Like I'm not going to have my phone for a day. That doesn't make sense. Like if I leave my house out of my phone, I will turn around to go get it. Like there's no way that I'm like going to be without the phone. So that scares me. But I know the importance behind the message.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing to take time. Maybe, some of us may call it go out and touch grass or, take some you time or what have you. There's days where I'll call Moon and I'm like, hey, this is what I've done, but I need to take a breather, right? I'm going to go play with my kids. I'm going to sit and watch some TV, eat a meal, but not eat my meal while doing business. Because I've done a lot. There's times I've hit him up at 2 a.m. and he remembered this. And I'm like, hey, I'm talking to Snoop Dogg right now. Get in here. He's like, what? He's like, aren't you supposed to be asleep? I was like, dude, I'm talking to Snoop Dogg right now. Get up and get in here. And that's the grind. That's the hustle. That's the love for what we do. And but also things like the leadership retreat, right? You've all heard me and Jay Chains talk about, he gets to Texas, we're going to link up, we're going to break bread, we're going to hang out, we're going to combine ideas, build relationships with other people. Moon Man came to our leaders retreat last year, and I'm sure he's got the funny story, his side of it he could tell you. But when I tell you these wild boar hunts get insane.
That sounds awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to being back there. We've got today's March 1st. We're scheduling movers, all that stuff. We're out of here by the 31st. So hopefully everything will get picked up that last week, and then we will start our little drive. I think we're going to do a little family fun road trip from here to Austin. Hit the coast a little bit.
Hell yeah, that'll be a fun trip. Man, I can't wait to see you here. Moon Man, if you can talk, man, just tell everybody about your experience and who you are.
Absolutely. GM, by the way. Welcome to Web3 Breakfast.
Yeah, GM. Yeah, thanks for bringing me up. Yeah, so I'm the Moon Man Operations Officer for the Final Frontier, professional gamer, and pretty much I just spend my time going to work. On the days that I work like a weird night schedule, but I go to work, I chill with my girlfriend, and I just sim race. That's the new thing I've been doing. If you guys don't know what sim racing is, it's basically simulation racing. This company called iRacing's been out for like 20 years, and basically all the Formula One drivers, all the GTR drivers, like everybody in the world that's like in actual professional driving uses this simulation. It's called iRacing, and it's just been crazy, man. I got the whole sim set up, got the wheel, the steering wheel, the pedals, all that, the seat, and I just been grinding hard in this for like the past 6 days, just putting countless hours in it. And yeah, man, got my first win the other day or last night. Just got a second win just now before this Spaces, and yeah, that's what I do. I just go to work, do Final Frontier things, hang out with the girlfriend, and just game. Every once in a while, I do take some time to myself, and we'll go out to eat, or maybe we'll go downtown Chicago, go see a show, and turn up a little bit and stuff like that. But yeah, just stacking money, buying crypto, and just gaming,
Ooh.
just nonstop.
Look, I have to confess, Moon Man was ready to kill that boar with the screwdriver. I'm just putting it out there. It got real very quick once I pulled the trigger, and I looked back, and he was on that tire, ready to get it on with that boar that came his way.
Dang.
Yeah, man, it was insane, bro. Because there was because once the people on the other side of the hill got done shooting, they finally stopped killing them all. They came running over the hill like a movie scene. Him and Star Killer on our team, another officer on the team, start taking shots. And now we've got 12 boars going their direction, 12 boars going me and Vio's direction. And the only thing I had available at that time was a screw. And, 8 of them shot the other way. And then one big ass one decided to stare me down 12 feet away. I jumped up on the thing, and I'm athletic too. I jumped up on the thing, grabbed that screw, and was like, bruh, I'm looking you dead in the eyes, you killer animal. If you want to go, let's go. You're going to get this right in the face, right in the center of the eyes. And he knew what it was, so he stepped away from the Moon Man and ran off. But crazy, yo, crazy.
Sometimes you just got to tell a boar that you don't want that smoke, man.
Exactly. And my GoPro, I didn't even turn my GoPro on. So if I would have had that, I would 100% put that in the comments right now. But we never caught that footage. I was so mad.
Bro, it was insane. Look, I put myself in the danger zone, right? This is not advice for people who want to go boar hunting. I know what I'm doing. So I get down in the prone, and I'm staring mine straight in the eyes. And I tell Star Killer, I'm like, hey, I'm about to take the shot. And so we do the countdown, and his goes down. Mine veers towards the fence. It turns around and gives me a perfect side profile, and I put it down. I get up, I look over. Here's Moon Man with the screwdriver in his hand, about to take this. I'm like, yo, what the hell is happening over here? But I can't defend him because I can't shoot in his direction. So he's got to do what he's got to do to survive. And then when he tells me the GoPro wasn't on, I was like, wait a minute, you missed this epic moment and you didn't have the GoPro on. Come on, dude. And then as I'm walking up to get my boar, this 8-foot snake comes out of nowhere. And I don't see it until they say, hey, a snake. And I look over and see it 3 feet away from me. I probably jumped an Olympic qualifying distance to get away from that thing. It was it was an insane moment.
Oh, dude, I hate snakes so much. We said that. We talked about that last week. I am a very masculine and manly guy. But I can tell you, sorry, my phone just rang if you lost me for a second. I can tell you, I hate, and am petrified of snakes. KT, what's up, GM Jim, bud?
Hey, it's a late night last night, so getting up for these early shows is tough, but I'm doing the best I can. Are you guys talking about an actual legit Razorback hunt?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh damn! I lived out in Oklahoma for 20 years, and I had some boys from Texas who I was good friends with. They invited me out a bunch. I was never able to go, but I'm telling you, whatever stories they led up to before I got in here, they were not even coming close to explaining how insane an actual boar hunt is. Those things will kill you in a heartbeat. Not even think about it. This is. I know it sounds like a video game. I thought you were talking about a video game in the beginning, but man, that is hardcore and no joke. And the worst part is these things are everywhere, and they're just taking over the South. That is horrible. Good for you guys for helping get rid of those damn things.
Yeah, man, they're no joke, dude. They're literally just I don't know what they weigh. What do they weigh, Ardo? Probably 70 pounds. I don't know. They're just pure muscle, dude. They're like sharks on land. Little tiny sharks on
little
land, pure muscle.
Yeah,
they can run 40 miles per hour. Something crazy.
Yeah, those are little ones. They get up. I've seen them upwards of 800 pounds.
Yeah,
and they're not pigs. They're just related to they're cousins to the pigs. So their body structure is completely different. When you look at the meat, It's not even like that pinkish color. It's more like a cross between beef and pork almost. They have almost like no fat on their body, so you can't get bacon off of them. The rib structure is shaped different. It's not that flat, long structure. It's like they're like curved and the bones are thinner, and then they have this huge layer of cartilage over them. So a lot of times you could like take a shot and it'll just deflect off of the cartilage, and here they come running. So they're actually not considered prey. They're actually classified as predators because they will come after you.
And like you were saying, like with their thick skin, like a 9mm won't take it down. Like you need at least like a 45, right?
Oh, you gotta go bigger. So I put mine down with 6.5 Creedmoor, which is it's the heavy stuff, and then I carry a 44 Magnum on my hip. In the event that I have to put that rifle down and get close, because you could see one 50 yards away, and by the time you blink your eye, it's right up on you. And if they swipe you with those tusks, you call it a wrap because they'll rip you open like a razor blade.
Jeez.
If anybody has seen the movie Hannibal, which is the second from Silence of the Lambs, when they fed that dude to the pigs, it's something like that. They are nasty and mean, and they have no F's about them, not even one. They do not care. You're just a bump in the road.
And they will eat you. Like, look, it sounds like he said, it sounds like a movie. It sounds like a video game. But like Moon Man can tell you, it's like real silent. And then next thing you know, chaos breaks out, and you better be laser focused when it does, because you have a split second to make a decision on taking this animal down or like potentially losing your life. So if you are going to participate on a boar hunt, please, for one, do not do it alone. For two, do it with someone you can trust. But that was part of the leadership retreat. It wasn't just breaking bread. It wasn't just taking them out to a range. It wasn't just sitting down and having a meeting. It was taking them out to do something in which each other had to rely on another person's ability to defend their life. So you're putting your life in someone else's hands when you go out on a boar hunt.
And one thing real quick, for those of you who are not really a big fan of hunting, wild boars are pretty damn close to an invasive species. Only in the fact that they reproduce so fast, and humans have killed off all their natural predators. So they're just running rampant all over the place. They're destroying farms, destroying buildings, killing people. They're like the Asian carp that was introduced into the waterways. They don't really have anything that goes after them to eat them in enough quantity to keep the population down. So they're just exploding all over the place. And when I was down there, they were having organized hunts regularly, just trying to keep the population down so they wouldn't wind up in the towns and doing damage above and beyond just the agricultural impact that they're having. They're killing tons and tons of native habitat for all the stuff that's been here from the get-go. They're eating anything. It's like locusts with 4 legs and tusks.
Yeesh.
Yeah. That's why J-Pain is going to get his hat on. He's going to get his Indiana Jones hat. He's going to come here and he's going to help us defend the Texas state. And they destroy, I think, like $1 billion worth of agricultural land every year. And but believe it or not, as invasive as these creatures are, it's actually the healthiest meat you can get in North America. It's higher in protein and less in fat than even venison and lamb. A lot of people don't know this.
It's and this is going to be terrible. So plug your ears if you don't want to hear it. The adults, the meat is way too gamey. You gotta go for the young ones. The young ones taste better, unfortunately. So
that's a fact. So
I know that's sad, but it is what it is. Well, you know what, guys, this has been a fun conversation. I love how we navigate these things every single day. This is just such an awesome community. I appreciate you guys. Everybody that came up. Final, KT, Lady Boss, Moonman, Mixtape, Chris D, Ferg. I see Mama Bear popped in the room, and then she just rugged. There's a couple other folks in the room that I want to shout out really quick before we head on out for the day. Matthew, thanks for popping in. Looking forward to our conversation today on This Is Financial Advice, 3 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you guys check that out. Carrie, Champagne Wives Club's in the room. Make sure that you guys check out what they're doing. It is very, very important that we start to look at some of these social impact NFT projects. They are working with an organization called Exodus Road to eradicate human trafficking here in the world. And I think if you can't get, I said this on the Web3 Breakfast account this morning, if you cannot get behind an organization that is helping people, unfollow me right now. I don't need you in my life. We need to be doing things that we can to help people in shitty situations. And so, Carrie, you got my support unequivocally. I know Arto's down. And anybody else you want to participate in what they're doing, make sure that you tap in with Carrie and Champagne Wives Club. There'll be more stuff coming out from us in the weeks ahead. What else? What is today? Today's Wednesday. That means that there's a couple shows today. I don't have my calendar pulled up. So we've got the This Is Financial Advice, and then we've got the Grandma Ape Spa Club later this afternoon. So be on the lookout for some tweets, guys. Have yourself a wonderful day. One thing that we were talking about just a second ago was hunting. And I know hunting's not for everybody, but one thing Arto was talking about is when they go out there, they build trust. That is one thing that I want to leave you with the messages today is building trust. Here at Web3, I hope that we are building your trust. You are building my trust. I trust when I see certain PFPs coming in here and I see it day after day after day, you are becoming family, not only to this community, but me personally. So this is what we do in this ecosystem is that we build relationships, we build trust with each other. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you, everyone that came and listened and participated. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for being part of the Web3 Breakfast community. And we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Have yourself a fantastic day, y'all.